All right, so we have to understand words. We have to understand that words create worlds. We have to also understand assumptions will then mischaracterize an intention, and then people will assume that is reality. So, depopulation is not an extinction. This should be the silver lining. This should be the silver lining in anything that you are resisting. Depopulation is a significant reduction in whatever population you are referencing, which means that you have the ability to survive a depopulation agenda. Okay? When you are experiencing two major companies merging together, there's going to be a depopulation in that company. It's called getting rid of redundancy. What is redundancy? When you have two people that are heading up the same operation when you merge two companies together, and so they're going to have to cut the fat. So if you have two heads of accounting from one company to another, and now two companies like TWA and PSA are merging together, now I'm showing my age here from the 80s, but let's say TWA and PSA, which are airline companies, they merge together, and now they are American Airlines, just pretend. They're going to get rid of the redundancy. Now only one head of accounting is going to be keeping their job, and the other one's going to have to find a new job. That's what depopulation is. You know, when you're dealing with with layoffs in a company, redundancy, you know, what else would you call a company that is cutting the fat? They're doing, you know, streamlining, whatever any company is trying to now be more strategic in their employee population, streamline all of their business processes. There's going to be many people who are going to lose their job because they won't need them anymore. They're not congruent and helping the bottom line. Okay? When you keep people in a company that are not contributing to the overall bottom line, that's excess weight. You're carrying people that are not contributing to the overall agenda, which is production and balance. And that's what business process reengineering is. That's what change management is. So business process reengineering, change management, and streamlining business processes is like a depopulation. You're cutting away the excess fat. When you're doing jelly juice, there is going to be a depopulation within your body, a significant reduction of the excess fatty acids that you hold within you. Because now you're finally streamlining your business processes within your body, mind, and spirit. You're not needing the excess fat that was used because it was misinformed that it needed to be there. Okay? When you're taking in J juice and you are taking in the salt, the water, the nutrients, and all of that, that salt is going to release any excess fat, and so that fat is now going to be depopulated from your body. You're not extincting your body, you're not destroying your body, you're just taking away the excess. That is taxing the body, causing then this disintegration process. So depopulation isn't necessarily bad. So now it's a matter of, can you be the one to show that you are a productive member of society, balanced, not resisting, but adapting. And so now even me just writing my book and looking at the actual definition of what depopulation is. It's a noun. It's a substantial reduction in the population of an area. Rural districts experience depopulation and economic decline. And so, yeah, it becomes a survival of the fittest. That's what depopulation is. It's survival of the fittest. Do you have what it takes to be able to adapt to your environment? Do you have what it takes? That's what it really means. Now, those that are on the Jilly Juice are going to have what it takes, but do they even recognize the gift that I have given them for fucking free? Do those of you that recognize the gift that I've given you and you're too busy fighting wars that you have no business fighting, too busy resisting things that are not even coming your way? Okay, yeah, so you can't go out and hang out and you have to wear a mask. Big freaking whoop, at least you're alive. At least you have the means to J-juice. If it's that person's choice to not do J-juice and to keep taking their cannabis and their chemotherapy and all their different protocols, that's their fucking choice. It's not up to you to try to dissuade them from their choice. If you've given them the information for them to make the proper, decision. But no, you don't want to give anybody the option of J-juice. You want them to fight something that they have no business fighting because they were not going to win. See, depopulation is get rid of the excess. If you're not doing J-juice, then you are going to be taken away with the excess if you're not doing J-juice. But those that know J-juice and understand it won't be part of the depopulation agenda because you will be the one to rise above. You're not going to be... I knew the elite were not trying to extinct mankind. You're welcome, John. I knew the elite were not trying to extinct mankind, but they know there's an imbalance in the population. They know it. And the only way they can get the balance is if they make it at the biochemical level, or they actually keep the balance at the biochemical level, and viruses and parasites and protozoa and proteins and fungus and bacteria are all necessary in the environment. They're all necessary. Elements are too. But they're not trying to gas you in gas chambers. Now they're forcing you to compete at the micro level. That's strategic of Bill Gates. That is strategic of Bill Gates. And so, yes, he deserves to be known as a genius. Because you don't want to kill off a productive person, but the very essence of a person being killed off through the virus world and the vaccine world is because they're not really productive. They didn't have what it takes to adapt. So they would eventually have been, if not now, then later, they would eventually tax the system, become dead weight, where someone else is carrying them. And that's why originally I was supporting Trump, because he is about independence. He is about strong. But they're not giving you another option, and they're trying to scare you away from J-juice. But is it their place to promote J-juice when they're trying to balance out the population? Because you see how it is when I put my information out there and people are like, oh, I'm in pain. Oh my God, this sucks. I have all these different symptoms. The pushback was insane. So imagine the pushback if Trump were to introduce J-juice. It's not his place to promote J-juice. It's his place to keep with the depopulation agenda, to eradicate the useless eaters, to eradicate the imbalanced people, whether they know it or not. You could say, oh yeah, I'm all independent. I'm all for the strength and all for the strong, and I'm all for people who carry their own weight. But even those that are Republican, that love Trump, are still taxing society, not contributing. Maybe they did contribute for a certain amount of time and then their body degraded and now they're on medical disability. Not knocking those that are on medical disability, but if you're not doing J-juice, then you're not doing anything to help your situation. If anything, you're making your situation worse, and then that is translating into your community. Because now the community has to carry you. So this whole depopulation agenda is not to extinct humanity, it's to take away those that are excess, to cut the fat. No different than when you do J-juice and you're releasing the excess fatty acids, and now you're finally regenerating, and maybe you're gaining some weight because you're underweight. If you're 80 pounds and you're 5'7", you're underweight. If you're 80 pounds and 6'2", you are underweight. You need to not only do J-juice, but you need to eat some sugar. You need to eat your carbs. You need to eat your pastas. You need to stop food discrimination. You need to eat some meat and some milk and some cheese and a few donuts and a bagel and a hamburger. I've seen people who claim they're all healthy and all balanced and they're so underweight and they're vegans and vegetarians and all about organic. They are so imbalanced, it's insane. And they'll be the ones, they're the kind of fat that's going to be cut when these new viruses come into the environment. There is a balancing force going on right now as we speak. Some of you characterize it as an evil thing. It's only evil on those that cannot handle the environment. And I'm giving you a fucking gift. Whether you know it or not, I'm giving you a gift to give you the choice on whether or not you want to deal with being able to adapt, or you have the choice now to fall into the duality programming, taking the two extremes and die anyways. So what are you fighting for? Holy crap, that was a revelation that I was not prepared to actually introduce, which is this depopulation. Because even me, my programming is still falling into the conspiracy world. They're trying to kill us, trying to kill us. No, they're only trying to kill those, well, not trying to kill. They're only trying to keep the balance. Jade juice doesn't kill anything. It just keeps the balance. But some will characterize jade juice as something, horrible because they don't want to feel their evolution. They don't want to feel symptoms. They've mischaracterized their symptoms. Even when you're not on jade juice and you have symptoms, you still mischaracterize them. So guess what? You're scooping out your evolution. You're cutting off your evolution. You're destroying your evolution with your own antibodies. UK McDonald's just started triple cheeseburger, and they also have like the cheese and steak bagel or biscuit or whatever. There, some people are really really excited about that too. Okay, so you have to understand that you can live on McDonald's and J Juice and be completely healthy. I just had a sandwich, from DeBella's, a great submarine, sandwich place. I'm drinking some iced coffee from, I had this from a couple days ago, but it has some sweetener in here, and I keep adding, my coffee into this, so now I have like an iced coffee thing, right? But it's like I'm pretty balanced. I understand now everything. So it's taken me up to this point to understand what even the depopulation agenda is. Now I got to go back into my book that I'm writing right now and show and talk about the duality programming, and depopulation really is just a significant reduction in imbalances in the population as well as in your body, and understand the perspectives, excuse me, I'm spitting, understand the perspectives, the fear around depopulation. And I get it. Yeah, there is an intent to balance out, but that's like J juice, when you have parasites that are having fun in my body, right? And it has been used to the environment that I've given it, and then now I want to go in and reprogram my body. Well, those little excess parasites that help me out, right? They're going to be released. They're not going to be happy when they're being released through my channels of filtration. They're not going to be happy going out into the toilet, going like, now who do we go and attach ourselves to? That's why there is an issue out there, because some of you are like parasites. The free ride that you've been getting, this whole comfortable, environment that someone has given you is going to be pulled, the rug's going to be pulled out from under you, and now you're resisting, you are protesting somebody taking away the freaking teat. Now you have to fight for your survival at the biochemical level. Holy crap. Now I understand. But depopulation is not a bad thing. It's recalibration of the environment that those that are parasitic are going to resist. Holy crap. Now you have the means to survive this depopulation agenda, which is basically a balancing type of mechanism. And maybe that's what happened back in World War II. We only know the politics around what was going on during these different genocides, and we don't like it. Nobody likes being killed off, whether it's overtly at the macro level or micro level. But there's a reason why a certain amount of people lived and a certain amount of people died, and what was the programming, and did the people that were genocided, did they take to the programming or did they resist it? I have no idea. I wasn't raised back in the 1940s, 1930s. All I know is whatever propaganda was fed to me. But when you think about who's allowed to live and who's allowed to die, yes, there were people that were purposely targeting people that looked a specific way. And then we have found that that's an uncivilized society, and we have graduated from just outright killing someone because of what they look like. And now we're giving people a different option, which is now you have the choice to adapt at the micro level, which will then translate at the macro level. And then you'll adapt to the new programming, to the new society that we're entering into, that you know exists, the New World Order, the Illuminati, whatever. It's not easy being reprogrammed. It's not easy being programmed. But even the Illuminati weren't aware of indefinite life. They just know that there's imbalances in the population. They just know that there's a lot of people who are dead weight in our society that are not contributing to the overall productivity and the peace and the harmony of their own community or in their own family. There are people out there that have intention to destroy, to cannibalize, to bully, to intimidate. And that is what this virus is trying to eradicate, are those types of people who hold those imbalances. And if you're balanced, you take yourself out of the war. You wouldn't be resisting, you wouldn't be protesting, you wouldn't be doing anything that would cause then someone to target you because of a very extreme belief system you hold within. When you don't take a side, you don't become a target. No one's coming to your house and taking you away, but the fear of that is instilled based upon conspiracy world programming. You know, you live in America where we have specific laws. And as long as you don't violate these specific man-made laws in your environment, you're home free. You pay your bills, you go to work, you don't rip off the public in any way, shape, or form. And you just be a productive member. Peaceful, prosperous, relatively balanced and healthy. No one's going to freaking mess with you. But those that are imbalanced that are going to be messed with. Those are who the police are going to target. Are those that are going to try to resist, try to change something that they have no business changing. You want, like John, I swear, you're so freaking right. You and Gemma, man, I swear. And I know you guys work in conjunction together. But when you said those that want change and now there's change and you're resisting it, there's a hypocrisy going on. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. I just had like a bit of a submarine sandwich, and so that's the excess that my body's trying to release. Not that it's poisonous, because yes, my body was able to handle and take on some of that nutrition. It's still going through its processes, but the immediate imbalance allowed me to blow my nose. So that's why I don't need to live on drugs or suppress any part of my evolution. I just allow my body to do what it needs to do, and it balances itself out because I've given it the right elements and I've gone through my healing process. I've gone through my adaptation process from microbiomes from years ago generationally to even today's current environment microbiome. And so depopulation is not necessarily bad, but you have to understand it is intentional. Just like taking J juice, it is intentional. Trying to rationalize with the excess parasites in your body when you're drinking J juice and you're releasing them, you can't rationalize. Your parasites want to be in your body, but you have to release the excess. You just got to do what you got to do, and you have to stop debating with your own parasites. Okay? And so that's why I don't debate with people who don't understand my information, because like debating with your own parasites that you're trying to release the excess. You're going to have a certain amount of parasites in your body, because that's part of your microbiome. But the excess parasites in your body do not want to leave the host. They will find ways to stop you from trying to release the excess, and that's where you have that conflict of you doing the J juice or not, because the parasites want to live too. They want to stay in your body. It's easier to stay with the host that they know than go and be released into the sewers looking for a new host, if they even survive the journey through the different channels of the sewer system. Okay, so that's why I don't debate with people who don't understand my information. There's no point. That's why the government doesn't want to deal with resistors, because they know they cannot rationalize with an imbalanced population. They can't. You cannot rationalize different biochemistries because they won't get each other. It's like trying to turn an atheist into a Christian. Ain't gonna freaking happen. So don't even bother. But you have to understand what's going on. The micro and the macro are total snapshots of each other, and it's the only difference is scale. That's what I'm gonna say in my book, my new book, is that the micro and the macro are snapshots of each other, and the only difference is scale, and then the words that are used to make you think that they're different contexts, separate, different, realities, when they're all the same reality. Words separate people. Context is telling you that there is it's separate and it's compartmentalized, when really that context is just kind of talking about subject matter, but those subject matters are all the same. Politics, religion, and science, all your microbiome, even though they're separated by words so you understand what they are, they all work together symbiotically. They're all freaking connected. But you have to understand that connectivity. And you're trying to annihilate your opponent. That's what sports are, is annihilating your opponent. That's what debates are. That's what elections are. That's what voting is. That's what anytime you take a side is you're trying to annihilate the opposite thought process, the opposition. That's what competition is. It's about annihilating somebody else. We don't learn balance in our society because we're always competing to annihilate somebody else. What would happen if that wasn't your mentality, to annihilate the competition? What would happen if you actually learn how to balance out both worlds? Could both teams win? Oh no, it has to be, the San Francisco 49ers have to win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's got to be a winner or a loser. There can't be a balance where both people win. Oh no. But that's the programming. That's the duality programming that you've been exposed to ever since day fucking one. No wonder it's hard for you to understand my information. Because you've been programmed to that level. At the biochemical level and then at the macro level. Education, politics, religion, science. So if I can give you any silver lining, depopulation is not extinction. Now you have the choice. Are you going to be the strong or are you going to be the fucking weak? The weak people are resisting. Just look at people on your Facebook. They're the ones that have the acid tongues. They're the ones that are crying and screaming. They're the ones that are going like, oh my God, the vaccines. They're the ones that are like, oh God, I don't like the Prime Minister of Australia, or I don't like Trump, or I don't like Biden, or I don't like, this person or that person. Oh God, you can see who the imbalanced people who are going to be depopulated because they cannot adapt. They won't adapt. And they have chosen that death is far much more, far superior than life. People say that, oh, that like J juice. I love J juice. But they will do nothing to balance out their body, mind, and spirit. They will not take themselves out of the annihilation war. When your intent is to annihilate your government, when your intent is to annihilate your friends and family who don't think the way you do. Now, I don't annihilate anybody. I just don't deal with those that want to annihilate me or want me to debate them by cannibalizing my energy when I specifically said, do not debate vaccines with me. Do not debate anything with me. I don't have the energy or the wherewithal to deal with your energy, your imbalances. So you either understand my programming or you stay with yours. But there is no, straddling both sides in the Jilly Juice world. You either are, about macro level life and micro level balance of life and death, or you go in and play the annihilation game. Go annihilate your friends and family. But you're not annihilating me or anyone on my Jilly Juice world. And you're not cannibalizing the spirit of my group as well as me. But I don't annihilate anybody. I put down boundaries. So that's why I don't take a side. And I am steadily trying to understand the world that I live in. Which means understanding the words. Depopulation is not extinction. And extinction is not depopulation. Depopulation is a significant reduction of the imbalanced people in the society. That's it. Now you have a choice. Do you want to be balanced or imbalanced? Do you want to be depopulated or you want to be repopulated? Two choices. Chocolate or vanilla. You choose. Bye.